There's someone here who's submitted a challenge, and they've said, sadly, I can't afford to donate this year. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's totally okay.
Just challenge me to lay around.
Yeah, we encourage you to donate responsibly, and if donating responsibly means not donating, do that.
Yes. There are all sorts of ways to support Desert
Exactly.
Islands.
You can support us just by watching, by being a member of the chat, by shouting us out on Twitter,
Yes.
telling your friends.
Telling your friends.
100%. Like,
Penis.
I'm sorry, what?
Not a
There's
good way
guy
to...
that said penis.
Oh!
Okay.
Sure there was, Kathleen. Sure there was.
So they've been searching for a job since earlier this year. They were wondering if they could get some advice on job hunting from the room. I have a little bit to start us off here.
Go for it.
One of the things that I always do when I'm job hunting, I make sure my resume is up to date and flawless. Like, go through it like 9 times looking for typos and then give it to somebody else and let them go through it 9 times looking for typos.
Do not be afraid to do that.
Yeah. Write a cover letter for each place that you apply to. Like, that shows that you care about this company. You've done a little bit of research about the company, the position. Like, a lot of it is about communicating that, yes, I have the skill set, but also I want to work there.
Can I
And I'm just going to finish this thought here, and then I've got you and then Steve right after that. So communicating that by doing that, making sure that you drop off either the resumes in person or send them in electronic, however you do it, and then following up. I usually say about a week later, and to say like, hey, there's nothing wrong with saying like, hey, I haven't necessarily heard anything back, but I was applying for this position. I'm really excited about it. If there's anything, like, please let me know. I'd love to hear about it. And it's another thing that you can do after an interview. Again, let about a week go by. And it's a way of showing that, hey, I'm really excited about this. Not only am I bringing the skill set you need to this job, but I am bringing the desire to work here, which is not a thing you can train. Kathleen?
I'm so sorry for trying to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
When you said talk about a cover letter, so when you are applying for a job, it is not a human that reads your resume and cover letter. Is usually a robot at these point in times. It's scanned through a thing. And so what you can do to fool the algorithms is you look at the job posting and you look at the words they use to describe the job posting and you incorporate them into your cover letter. If they say they want a team player, if they want detail-oriented, whatever you do, you rewrite your cover letter to include as many words from the job posting as possible, so the or whatever program that is looking at it goes ding, 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 ding,
And this is
19 out of 20
and
hits
this
or whatever.
is important for technical people, even if the words they're using are wrong.
Yes. You use
their
whatever words are
Yeah.
in that job posting, you put as many
You can
of them
also
in there.
use your words, but you need to make
their
sure
words.
you use their words.
HR doesn't know what your job is going to be.
It's not lie, but like obviously,
No,
like
not lie, no.
using the words that they use to describe yourself, obviously you take their words and put them into your words, but they are looking for literal text matches.
Like key phrases.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So,
Steve, what do you got?
well, I started a company back in
Yeah.
1993, which I ran for 25 years, and I've probably seen 8 bajillion resumes.
I was going to say, I
time.
feel like you were the foremost expert in the room.
I don't know if that's true, but I can tell you what I know. So, you guys are right. The gatekeeper for the resumes is very often robotic. And that's just because of the sheer number of resumes that you get. Now, when you get shortlisted, here is some of the stuff that I found the most impactful. So we've already heard the advice, like do a little bit of research on the company, but authenticity is really important in an interview, and eagerness. And what they're looking for is, what I was always looking for was informed authenticity. So get into the company, do some research, look at the press releases, look at what they're doing, try to suss out what the arc of the company is. Like, do some homework.
Yeah,
You're going to do some
for sure.
homework here. Now, and then, and this is important, find something in there that you genuinely and enthusiastically are excited about. I don't mean everything. Pick 1 or 2 things that you go, oh my gosh, I love big data, or I love something, and I genuinely need it. You go in armed with a basic understanding of what the company's trajectory has been to date, where it makes its money, what it's trying to do in the future, and then you attach genuine personal enthusiasm to 1 or more of those things, not like 6, like 2 things. Oh man, I see you're building out a new whatever data processing structure, or I saw you launch this product in February from your website. Half the time no one's reading those press releases on the website. You go and read the press releases, you're like one of 6 people that's ever read that press release.
Right.
You have this massive leg up at that point.
It's about standing out.
Right, you have this genuine enthusiasm. Find something you really are enthusiastic about. Get a little bit educated on it, and just engage with the person and say, I was really impressed by that. What are you doing next with that product? I've always wanted to be. Or, geez, when I was at ABC Co, we were doing something similar, but not as cool as this.
Right.
That I loved that. Educated enthusiasm in an interview was almost always the deciding factor for us, at least for
Excellent.
me.
Emily, you have one.
Yeah, and I say this because for the last while I've been working for government. I've also been on the other side of a hiring process now in government, and it's actually pretty similar in a lot of different types of government or other heavily unionized or public service positions. And the biggest thing I can say is the best way to research a position if you are in government, as long as you live in a country that has some kind of freedom of information, is those are publicly accessible. I ended up applying on a position, I came in second, and I was sitting there going, I think this is so far outside my scope, but going through the FOIs, I had all of the information I needed to be able to talk about specific things that I could find, that I could go, this was a project you guys did that I am all in on. So never underestimate the value of being really nerdy and reading FOI requests if you're applying for government.
Can I just add something?
Yeah, what you got,
I
Kathleen?
see Basil Brushoff in chat said, men typically apply for jobs that meet more than half the criteria. Women on average won't apply unless they meet about 75%. My friend Andy, who's a very successful person, gave me some very good advice. He's had a lot of he's one of my competitive trivia buddies. I don't know if you've ever met him, but he's had a lot of very high-paying jobs, and he always said, I have never been qualified for any job I've applied for. Because if I am qualified for the job, that means I have nothing to learn, and I will get bored.
Good.
I need to, obviously, I believe I can do it, otherwise I wouldn't apply for it, because it doesn't want to get fired. But as long as you think the job if the job is a challenge, if you know some of the skills but not all of them, that's good enough. Nobody expects you to go into a job knowing exactly everything you know how to do, because you don't already work there. You don't already have that job. As long as you're willing to learn and you're willing to put in the effort, apply for it, even if you think it's way outside your skill set, even if you think you're super underqualified, because then you will work hard and you will bring a good attitude to it, and they will reward you with
100%.
that.
And don't be coy in a job interview. No. If they hit you up for something you don't know, don't pretend you know it. Just say, you know what, I don't know that, but boy, am I excited to learn about it. Yeah. And here's a time when I learned a skill like that, but boy, this one is don't lie in job interviews. Especially, it's because the worst case scenario isn't that they call you on it; it's that they don't call you on it, and you get through, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah, because the people that you're interviewing with, almost universally, are just as smart, if not smarter than you. Yep. So they're going to tell that you're basically fudging your experience a little bit, and they're not going to call you on it because they don't want to make an awkward situation. They're just going to let you do the interview, leave, and then turn to each other and be like, wow, that person sure lied a lot. Let's bring in the next candidate.
Yeah.
So never do that.